The clerk will report the title of the joint resolution.
House Joint Resolution 72, joint resolution relating to a national emergency by the President on February 1, 2025.
The question is on passage of the joint resolution. Members will record their votes by electronic device. This is a 5-minute vote. On this vote, the yeas are 219 and the nays are 211. The joint resolution is passed. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
A rare showdown on Capitol Hill. The House of Representatives has moved to push back against President Donald Trump's tariffs on Canada, delivering an unusual bipartisan rebuke to the White House.
The clerk will report the title of the joint resolution.
House Joint Resolution 72, joint resolution relating to a national emergency by the President on February 1, 2025.
The question is on passage of the joint resolution. Members will record their votes by electronic device. This is a 5-minute vote. On this vote, the yeas are 219 and the nays are 211. The joint resolution is passed. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
In a vote that caught many by surprise, several Republicans joined Democrats to pass a resolution aimed at countering Trump's trade penalties on one of America's closest allies. But there's a catch. Even with House approval, the measure cannot fully undo the tariffs without President Trump's support, something seen as highly unlikely. Within moments of the vote, Trump fired back, issuing a sharp political warning to lawmakers willing to cross him. The president has long championed tariffs as a powerful negotiating tool, arguing they force U.S. trade partners to the bargaining table and protect American industries. Yet back home, pressure is mounting. Businesses affected by the trade war are voicing concern. Consumers are grappling with higher prices, and lawmakers in both parties are hearing about it from their constituents. House Speaker Mike Johnson attempted to block the vote, but his strategy unraveled as defections within his own party ensured the resolution moved forward. Now the measure heads to the Senate, where its fate remains uncertain. It's a striking moment, not just about trade policy, but about power, party unity, and how far Congress is willing to go in challenging a president who has made tariffs central to his economic strategy. Venezuela is done. Mission Greenland on track. Next is Canada. Donald Trump shocked Canada with just one post on Truth Social, threatening to stop the U.S.-Canada bridge. The U.S. president seems hell-bent on making Canada America's 51st state, and this latest map puts a stamp on Trump's plan. U.S. President Donald Trump dropped a big bombshell in a post on his Truth Social account. This time, the target is none other than the historic ally of the U.S., Canada. After repeated threats of making it the U.S.'s 51st state, Trump, in a fresh salvo, now threatens to stop the opening of the Canada-U.S. bridge. Trump said Canada must fully compensate and treat the U.S. fairly. Trump added that negotiations regarding the project would begin immediately, insisting that the U.S. should own perhaps at least one half of this asset. Gordie Howe International Bridge becomes the latest flashpoint in a broader U.S.-Canada trade agreement. The bridge, which is expected to open in early 2026, is set to be the only bridge that allows for foot and bike traffic between Detroit, Michigan and Windsor, Ontario. Construction on the bridge over the Detroit River, which is named for the late legendary Canadian hockey player Gordie Howe, who played for the Detroit Red Wings, began in 2018 and has been funded by the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority, a federal crown corporation owned by the Canadian government. The Canadian government is responsible for operating, maintaining, and rehabilitating the bridge for the next 36 years. Trump called for the U.S. to gain more stake in the project, suggesting the country should control at least half of the roughly $4.7 billion bridge. He criticized Canada for owning both sides of the crossing and for allegedly using little U.S.-made material during construction. He also added pointedly in his Truth Social post that, "And now, on top of everything else, Prime Minister Mark Carney wants to make a deal with China, which will eat Canada alive. We'll just get the leftovers. I don't think so." The dispute over the bridge is the latest in a broader pattern of U.S.-Canada trade disagreements. Washington has warned it could impose steep 100% tariffs on Canada after Carney traveled to Beijing last month and concluded a preliminary trade agreement with China. Trump has been locked in trade disputes with Canada since returning to office in January 2025. He had earlier floated the idea of the United States annexing Canada. On February 9th, Trump reshared a map of the United States showing Greenland and Canada as its part. In the post, Trump is seen seated inside the Oval Office with NATO leaders including French President Emmanuel Macron, Italy's Giorgia Meloni, UK PM Keir Starmer, President of the European Commission Ursula von der Leyen, among others. And behind Trump is a map painted in U.S. flag colors. Trump has repeatedly argued that without massive U.S. subsidies, Canada would cease to exist as a viable country. Stating that he wants Canada to be the 51st state, Trump had said, "I think Canada would be much better off being the 51st state because we lose $200 billion a year with Canada, and I'm not going to let that happen." Carney, meanwhile, warned at the Davos Forum last month that the U.S.-led global system of governance is enduring a rupture, in a thinly veiled reference to Trump's disruption, and argued for mid-level powers to group together.